2020 continues. Once again, Barbara Walters.
This is the marinara. This is the meat. Now I'm gonna get everything heated up.
It's Christmas Day in the home of Stephanie and Neil Grant. Their twin daughters, Allie and Riley, have already opened their presents, like this one that allows you to morph a digital body into anything you want. For Riley, a 10-year-old transgender female who is biologically a boy, the game must be bittersweet. If only life was so easy, she could punch a button and turn into a girl. If you were to meet someone who didn't know you, and they said to you, Riley, are you a boy or a girl, what would you say?
A girl.
And you really feel that way, don't you? Have you always? Can you ever remember not feeling like a girl? You're a very pretty girl, do you know that? Yeah, you are. Does Riley feel sometimes that she's a freak?
Yeah. She has a physical deformity.
She feels.
She has a birth defect. We call it that. I can't think of a worse birth defect as a woman than to have a penis. She talks about the day she'll have a baby. That's not in her future. But she sees herself as
a woman.
A woman, as growing up to be a woman.
10 years ago, the struggle was simply to have Stephanie conceive. It took the Grants 11 attempts at in vitro fertilization and 5 miscarriages before they finally gave birth to fraternal twins. A girl, Allie.
Hi, Richie.
And a boy, Richard. So Stephanie and Neil, when you had a boy and a girl, twins, you must have been thrilled.
The perfect family. You have a boy and a girl, you don't need any more.
Yay, Allie!
From the beginning, the twins were different.
Whee!
Allie was extremely, always looking into life.
Come on, Rich.
Richard was clingy and quiet and more passive. I knew he wasn't going to be a masculine, macho little boy.
Wave hi, Rich.
Richard refused to swim topless, always wearing a shirt in the pool. Gentle and meek, he gravitated to pink, not blue.
It started with the cups. But, Mommy, I want a pink cup. I want a pink cup. And I'd say, no, that's the girl's cup. Pink is for girls, but I'm a girl. He just stomped his feet, and I want pink.
Richard was jealous of his sister's girl things, especially her clothing.
We were getting dressed, and he wanted to wear a dress. He wanted to be pretty like his sister.
A two?
A two. Huh. Two and a half. I want a dress. I'm a girl, Mommy. I'm a girl. And I'd say, no, honey, you're a boy. You have a penis. You're a boy. Allie's a girl.
And what happened?
His facial expression would change. He'd get sad, and he just wanted to be pretty like a girl was pretty.
Do you remember how you felt?
I think I was kind of dumbfounded because how someone so early in life could discern for themselves what they wanted to be.
Then an incident in the bathtub convinced the Grants just how seriously confused their son was about his gender identity.
So I left the room, and when I came back, Richard was standing there very innocently with a nail clipper, and he was holding it to himself, and it was closed. It's a cringing thought, and that's exactly what I did. Buddy, what are you doing? What are you doing? And he just looked up at me with these eyes, and he said, Mommy, it doesn't go there.
He was going to cut it off, cut his penis off?
Yeah. That's at 2.5. In my mind, I knew right there, there's something going on.
The Grants needed help, so they turned first to their doctor. What did your pediatrician say?
I don't know what to tell you. And I think you have to teach him to be a boy.
You gotta put him on the track, honey.
So the Grants encouraged Richard to play with boy toys and do boy things, but to no avail.
It's a microwave like Mommy's, huh?
Richard even refused to attend his own birthday parties, knowing he would only get boy presents. The worst time was Christmas.
He got more exasperated when he looked over at all his sister's things, the things that he wanted.
So here you are with this little boy rejecting everything male. At what point did you allow him to dress as a girl?
At about 3 years old.
They called it girl time. Richard could dress up in his sister's clothes, but only when his father, Neil, was out of sight. The secret between mother and son went on for months.
So I took him shopping by himself.
And you bought him
And we bought
clothes?
his own skirt and his own little tank top, because he was, that little girl trapped inside was so happy when this would happen, but we knew we had to hide it. And his own pair of Barbie sandals. And we hid them in the back of the closet.
So, Neil, when you found out that your wife was dressing your little boy as a girl, what'd you do?
I said I didn't believe in it, and I didn't know where this was going to lead to.
And you didn't want it.
And I didn't know. I did not want it.
Richard's double life put a strain on their marriage. They almost separated. But Stephanie was undeterred. Richard, now 4, was going to school as a boy, but wanted to be a girl full-time. At night, you heard Richard's prayers in the middle of all of this. What was he saying?
He said, Mom, I'm so mad at God. And I said, you are? Why? He said, because God made a mistake. He made me a boy, and I'm not a boy. I'm a girl, Mom. And he says, every night I pray that God gives me a girl body, but when I wake up, I'm still a boy. He says, God won't take back his mistake. He won't make it right.
Neil, what happened when you heard this? I don't want to put you through something that's this difficult.
I need a few minutes. I'm sorry.
Was there a point when Richard got so unhappy that you were afraid that he might do himself harm?
He would say to me, I just want to die. I just want to jump out the window.
Were you afraid he might?
Oh, yeah. We locked the windows and
Yes.
checked the windows on a regular basis. And then at one point, he said to me, Mom, I wish I didn't exist. And I said, honey, you don't want to die. I would be so sad. And he said, no, Mommy. If I died, you would be sad. But if I never existed, you would never know.
This is at 6.
This is at 6 years old.
Was there a point around this time when you thought, maybe I have a little boy who's gay?
I thought possibly that he was a feminine boy. But there's a big difference, I think, between a child saying that I want to be a girl and a child saying that I am a girl.
At home and at school, Richard was having panic attacks.
We had an incident during homework where he had such a panic attack, he turned blue. And the next morning I just went into the principal and I sat in the office and I cried. I explained everything and she looked at me and she said, well, why can't he come to school dressed like a girl? I said, well, how can I do that? He's a boy. I can't send him to school dressed like a girl. And she says, why not?
Finally, the school sent the grants to a gender specialist who diagnosed Richard with gender identity disorder. What did you think, Neil?
I was probably more confused then, because I had no idea what that meant.
Did you understand what transgender meant?
No, I just said, oh my God, we're not making this up. This is real. There's a diagnosis.
That diagnosis was just the beginning of even more heartache. Riley would face hurtful teasing and bullying and the anguish of trying to be accepted for whom he feels he is, a girl.
Some people call me a boy.
And then how do you feel?
Angry.
That's next.